Welcome to Real Custom Lures. My name is Jeff, and today is part 2 on how to make a jig spinner arm, but with the twist eye. I'll be using the Hagen's wire bender for this, and toward the end of this video I'll have a bonus feature on how I attach snap swivels and wire leaders to the jig spinner arm. Thank you for joining, and let's get going. We'll be using the Hagen's wire bender, and it's kind of a quick overview. This is the lower unit down here. This is where it has the arm, and has 2 pins here, and you relay the wire between the 2 pins. That's the upper and lower wire forming block, and I call it. And up on top it has arm here, and it has slots in here to where the wires will fit. And you'll put a loop in over this pin up here, and that's actually what forms the twist eye. And I got this Hagen's wire bending tool from Barlow's Tackle, in case you're wondering. I drew up a little diagram here. The jig spinner arm twist eye. I have some measurements here that I'll be using. This is an 8-inch stainless steel wire shaft. It's a .035 wire diameter gauge. And the first thing we need to do is we need to form the wire for the twist eye. And to do that, we're going to lay the wire between the pins here, and I'm going to measure from the back of this bending block here to the tip. I'm going to make this measurement 4 inches. That's good enough. Now you can use any reference point that you want for your measurements. I've just been using back here for a while. Now with the wire between the 2 pins, we're going to go clockwise. This wire all the way until it just touches the bottom wire. Release the tension. All we're going to do is turn it over, place this loop over the center pin here. We'll go clockwise. Now I'm going to slide my finger between these 2 wires. As I'm pushing in clockwise, I'm actually pushing this wire out to the right just until it touches. Let go of the tension. And now we have our form for the twist eye. And we'll move up to the upper unit. The camera up here. We're going to lay this loop right over this pin. I'm going to slide the arm back, and it's going to rest right in those the slots I was talking about. Now this wire up here is actually the blade shaft, and this wire down here is the jig shaft. That's where the jig's going to attach to. Now we're going to close this arm, and we're going to keep firm pressure down on this arm. And I'm going to turn this 2 times. When I'm turning this handle, I'm actually putting pretty good pressure against this block right here. And we're going to go 1, 2. Release the tension, lift the arm up, and now we have the twist eye. So the next thing we need to do is we actually need to make the U-clip. And the U-clip is what's actually going to attach eventually to the jig shaft arm here. Now you want the blade shaft point to your left. You should be able to be looking straight down into the eye. The tip of this wire, you want to place between the two pins and just barely pass. You're going to twist this almost 3/4 way. Let go of the tension. Now we have our U-clip. Now we need to make a bend to it at a right angle. That way it'll snap on and off on the jig shaft right here. To do that, we're just going to turn it down. Blade shaft will be pointing down. You're going to have this U is going to be pointing toward you. And you want this straight up. Place between the two pins. Start to your right, just a hair past the right. Let go of the tension. Now we have our U-clip here. Now we need to make the form that's actually going to attach the jig to. Now to do that, I want it 1.5 inches. I've already pre-measured from the bottom of this block right here to that marking. Keeping the blade shaft pointed down. Lay the wire between the two pins up to your 1.5 mark. We're going clockwise. We're going to keep on turning until it just touches the lower shaft. Release the tension, and we're just going to turn it over. Put down the center pin. And while I'm pushing clockwise, I'm actually going to be pushing this wire, the long wire, out to the right till it just touches. And now we have the form for the U-clip. Now we'll snap it on. And back here is where the jig's going to attach to. Now we need to get ready to make the blade loop for the blade shaft. And to do that, first I want to measure the shaft 2.5 inches. So from the back of this little twist eye here, find your 2.5 inches. And just with a needle nose pliers, it has a wire cutter on it. I'm going to cut off the excess. And when you're doing that, make sure you point it away from your face because they have a tendency to fly. Now we're going to make the blade loop. When you're doing that, make sure the loop is going toward where you're going to attach the jig to. So make sure it's sideways. The blade shaft's pointing up. You want to lay it between the two pins. Just past them. And this time you're going to twist all the way around until it touches the blade shaft. Release the pressure. And now we have our blade loop. That's where we're going to attach a blade to. Let me get a blade here. I already attached the stainless steel ball bearing swivel to it. It's the only swivel I use for all my blades. They just have such good rotation, smooth action. There's a little split ring. You're going to slide it over the blade loop. Get your needle nose pliers back out, and we're going to close the gap. And we're going to close it, and you should feel it when you're rubbing your finger across the blade shaft. Now you know the blade's not going to go anywhere. Now we're going to attach the jig to it. Snap it on. And voila, you're ready to go fishing. And that's how you make a jig spinner arm with the twist eye using the Hagens. Now on to the bonus feature. So this is the jig spinner arm that we just made. It's the one that has the twist eye in it. So if you're going to use a snap swivel with the twist eye, I mean it's going to be secure on there. It's not going to slide up and down the wire shafts here. However, if you're going to use a snap swivel or a wire leader on a jig spinner arm or even a spinning bait that has the R bend, and you attach a snap swivel or a wire leader to it, it will slide up and down the arms of the shafts here and cause all kinds of problems while you're trying to fish. How I solved this problem, and it works well. For a long time, if I'm going to use a wire leader or a snap swivel, I use the common household bread twisters here. What I do is I strip off this paper wax coating on here to get down to the thin wire right here. And I just take that wire, I'll wrap it around about 3 times, twist it off on the bottom, and then clip off the excess. And that helps prevent the snap swivel or wire leader from sliding up and down. Like I said, it's worked really well for me. But since I've been making my own spinner baits and jigs here, I attach the silicone skirts with what's called a skirt collar. And I thought, well, why can't I use that on the R bend? It has a little hole in it. So I tried it one day and it works. So now this is all I use are the skirt collars here, since I have so many of them. And to do that, there's a little hole, like say in the skirt collar. You just slide it over the R bend. And it makes a nice secure loop, just like the twist eye. So when you attach a snap swivel to it, it is not going to slide up or down the shafts here. It works really well. And the same holds true with the wire leader. It's not going to slide up and down the wire shafts either. Matter of fact, I make these wire leaders. They're nylon coated, and there's about 7 strands of wire. I believe this is a 40-pound test, and it works really well. I use these mainly on the bigger jig spinner arms and the bigger spinner baits when I'm up northern Wisconsin fishing for muskie and a pike. But for the most part, if I'm going after bass, largemouth, smallmouth, walleye, I usually just tie my line straight to the R bend. And when it's snug to it, it's not sliding up and down. And that's the end of the bonus feature here. Well, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. as much as I did making it for you. And until next time, tight lines, and I'll catch you later.